Elizabeth Street, Norwich, Connecticut, March 9th, 2025. I'm going to do a little exploration of St. Peter and Paul's Church. The grounds, the church, not inside, it's closed, but okay, it's on the corner of Elizabeth Street and Osgood Street. There it is, right there. I am walking across Elizabeth Street right now. There's a look down Osgood Street. There's a sign right there. St. Peter and Paul's Church. Let me frame this up perfectly. There it is. Mass schedule and everything. Freeze the frame if you want that information. All right, let's get a look at these doors. There they are, the doors of St. Peter and Paul's Church. There we go, right there, perfect. For now, I'm going to walk down along the side of this church. And there's a statue right there. There's a lot of statues around here. We're going to take a look at all of them if we can. When I was a kid, I went to this church. I think I was baptized here. I think I was. I don't remember it, obviously, but I made my first communion here, and I walked up that staircase, or that sidewalk right there. There's a rose garden. Obviously, it's not in bloom. I'm gonna take a tour of the grounds. Now, they have a nativity scene. It's not up right at the moment. I mean, it's March, so they took it down. And behind that's the rectory, but this is the new nativity scene, the structure that holds that. Let's get a side shot of that church. The light is real good on it right now. There it is, St. Peter and Paul's Church. But anyways, this is the new structure for the nativity scene. I'll go by the old one later. That's the rectory. As far as I know, the priest lives there. Back in the my era, it would be Father Baldwin or Monsignor Baldwin, if I'm not mistaken, lived there. Now, this is a large parking lot. It goes way, way down there. And, when I was a kid going to church here, a very young child, this parking lot was packed to the rafters. I mean, absolutely wall to wall. Cars. As a matter of fact, I remember standing room only in that church. I remember standing through the entire Mass. Okay, there's another kind of a long, wide shot of that church, St. Peter and Paul's Church. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, let me hone in on this. In the footsteps of Jesus, Stations of the Cross, in memory of all these different people, and I'll slowly pan down there. If you want to freeze the frame and read some of that stuff, go for it. Okay, here's the gates. They're open. Again, rose bushes all over the place. But I'm going to get down. I'm going to give you a look at the Stations of the Cross. I don't know if I'll cover every single one of them. And then I'm going to get down and take a look at the old baseball field. And they had 2 fields down here and then another one up on the hill that I can recall. I mean, all right, there's another kind of a wide view of that church. This is Mary's Garden. Let me see if I can grab this again. Freeze that frame. Okay, there's statues all over the place here. This was here when I was a kid, so this is this has been here a while. Seems to be in pretty decent condition. Let me get a close-up. I don't know if thing looks almost brand new. I mean, it's possible some of these things could have been replaced. They look familiar. They could have been restored. I don't know. And that lamb is damaged right there. There's some damage. He's missing a leg. Our Lady of Fatima gift, Mr. and Mrs. Alfio Pradle. All right, there is that beautiful statue. All right, I'm going to go to the location. Wow, there's a look. I'm going to go over to just waiting for that motorcycle noise to quiet down so you can hear me. There's a look at I don't know, it's just a feel. I don't ever recall doing anything personally. I mean, it wasn't a baseball field or anything. It was just an open field down there. I do recall people saying that they used to slide down this hill. I never did, but some of the kids that lived around here or in the different neighborhoods close by would get down there and come here and slide downhill. I mean, this is what I was told. Okay, there's a shot of the statue up there with the church above it, a staircase. I remember that. I don't specifically remember that statue, to be honest with you, but it could be a little bit newer than when I was hanging around here in the early 60s. Now, directly in front of me used to be, there's a cross up there now, you can see in the background, but there used to be a life-size manger right here. Okay, it was a manger. Let me see if I can, yeah, this whole big thing right here. Okay, I don't know the exact, probably where the center of that cross. Yeah, see the cross on the left portion of the frame, left upper portion. In front of that was a big manger, with life-size donkeys and saints and, whoever was part of the manger, creche set type of thing. It was right here for years. I don't know why they got rid of it. Maybe it's hard to maintain. I have no idea, but it's a fact. All right, I'm going to show you some of these Stations of the Cross. I don't know. Maybe I'll get down there. Let's just take a look at a few of them here. Okay, those have obviously been restored. This is that particular. There's a number down there. But I think, let me zoom way in on this. This thing looks almost brand new. Very windy today. I mean, this is again, it's March. There's no mowing or anything like that going on. I'm not sure what there's another one of these stations right there. Really, really nice. I mean, I don't know if they're brand spanking new, but it's in mint condition. I would say it's new. I don't know, but I would, if somebody asked me to, guess, that would be my guess. They're not the original ones from when I was a kid. Let's put it that way. All right, there's a couple more. There's one right there. Number, I think that's, I don't know. Is that 11? An X with a 1, probably. A lot of noise down there on West Same Street. It's kind of rough walking in here. It's very uneven. There's a lot of, I mean, you can see the grass. Like, look at this. It's like a wheat field or something. But so it's kind of rough walking around. There's another one. There's one more way down here. There's actually an entrance. There used to be a nice path that led there. It's not. I don't know, if this is no longer maintained. I have no idea. Stations of the Cross are maintained. There's another one right there. And pointing straight ahead is that kind of gate where you would walk in. I mean, I'm going back to my day. You would walk in there. Behind that is a building. Lamparelli's barber shop used to be down there. I don't want to. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to get on this hill. I'm not going to get crazy. I'm going to go over to the baseball field, and I'll cover the other stations of the cross. I'm going to be kind of careful. It can get a little wet, although it's okay so far. All right. A lot of birds over there. But anyways, here's that lower, field. As far as I know, nothing was ever done with it. I don't recall it being used for anything. There's a wide shot with St. Peter and Paul's Church way up on that hill, and Stations of the Cross continuing to the right hand side. And I'm going to work my way up the hill, and I'm going to get over to that baseball field, and there's a old basketball court. When I say baseball field, what used to be a baseball field, right now it's just a completely overgrown area. With no baseball fields. There hasn't been baseball fields there in many years. I don't know, somebody, if you know the history of that situation when they closed the fields, or when that baseball league ceased to exist, please let me know. That's a good shot right there. St. Peter and Paul, behind St. Peter and Paul's Church. As the wind howls, it's actually relatively comfortable. I mean, it's probably 40, low 40s, but it's really not that bad, except for the wind. But the temperature's okay. Here's another one of the stations. Again, it's kind of rough going around here because of the grass or, whatever is all overgrown. Alright, I'm just going to do these from a distance. You can see that number 7 right there. Alright, so I'm down almost to the bottom of the hill. There's another. This one is number 6. And at the top of that hill you can see the statue there, the kind of the silhouette. There's another, number 5. Alright, so I'm going to cover all of them then. Why not? Let me do a kind of a sweep of this this field down at the bottom. Like I said, kids, this used to be one of the great sliding winter snow, sliding places of all time, and it makes sense. It does. I wish I did it when I was a kid. We used to go to the golf course, Norwich golf course, a place, there was a hill nicknamed Suicide Hill. That's where we went. Number 4, Stations of the Cross. Let me cover them all. Then I'll work my way down to that baseball field. There's number 3 right there. Alright, there's some brick work here I'm walking on. It's covered over with dirt, but... Alright, what do we have here? Number 2. Alright, yep. There it is. Let me get that framed up a little better right there. It's number 2. There's number 1. Station of the Cross, number 1 right there. That's where you start and you work your way around. I'll work my way over to the baseball fields now. What used to be the baseball fields. Alright, there's a path here. There's a big, huge, beautiful rhododendron plant. It's gigantic, so that's been there for many years, decades, I would say. Okay, this used to be, there is still a road that kind of goes up there. Maybe I'll backtrack a little bit. Right now I'm going to go over to the basketball court. Here's some big, you probably use this for the the baseball field, leveling things out or whatever. Let's see if I can get that in the frame. There it is. It's completely overgrown. This hasn't been touched in years. Little trees are starting to grow up. Here's a basketball court. This used to be a full court basketball, outdoor basketball. It hasn't been used in a long time. There's a big fence that blocks basketballs going into this pond. Yep, there it is. That tire, I swear that tire was there when I was a kid. The pond's real low, but there's the pond. People used to skate on that thing when it was, obviously it's very low right now. Let's get a good look at this other, the lighting on that basketball hoop is really good. Right there, and that net is still there a little bit. You can see some of the the paint marks. You'd shoot a foul shot from that line right there. And the baseball field, there were two. There was one directly in front of me, right here. There were dugouts to the left, and way, as far in the distance as you can see, there's a pine tree. There was another baseball field there, facing in this direction. I'm going to take a little walk up that road just to get a different angle. But this obviously hasn't been mowed in years or maintained, so the fields are just not. There's no trace of the dugouts or, home plate or anything like that. The bases, nothing. I never played baseball here. I've seen baseball played here, but I went to the Norwich Little League. Now I'm not going to be able to get up there. I was going to go up there, but let's see if I can work my way around. If it's too, there's a lot of, I don't think it's worth it. This looks like if there's a stream that would be running in here. Yeah, I'm not going to go up there. You're just going to have to take my word for it that let me take a look on the other side here. I just don't see me getting through here. Hang on a sec. All right. I'll try to make it without destroying anything here. Jeepers creepers. All right. I haven't been down here in over 50 years. Okay? Let's put it that way. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get. It might be completely overgrown up here too, so that it might not get me all the way over. There used to be another building up here on the left that I believe burned to the ground. That was before my time, I think, but if anybody knows the history, let me know. I'm bending down and kind of working my way through a bunch of, I don't know, rose bush prickers or whatever these things are. It's tough navigating through here. Man, I mean, this is overgrown to the max. This is not a heavily traveled area. Okay. This is just going to get us a different look, different angle on that, what used to be a baseball field. Yeah, right up there to the left. I'm not sure where exactly, but there was some kind of a structure that caught on fire. I don't know if it was a storage facility, a maintenance, facility of some sort. I don't know. I tell you one thing, there's some beautiful birch trees, white birch trees back there. But now they have these just big metal containers. You can see those. It's a little bit more open here in this area. I just wanted to get down and get a look at that other baseball field, what used to be a baseball field. Wow. This is a lot further than I thought. People used to drive right down here. All right, there's the... Let's see if I can get in there. Again, I'm not going to... I can only go so far. It's so unbelievably overgrown. There's a fence down there. But anyway, straight ahead, there used to be a baseball field. I'm sorry we can't see the field well. We don't have a good look at it, but you can see definitely a portion of it. Maybe I can get closer. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it personally, because this is just ridiculously overgrown. I mean, there's every kind of vine and branch and shrubs and you name it, it's down here. Somebody should come down here with a metal detector. Good grief. I better be able to get through. Alright, looks like I'm going to make it. Alright. There it is. Again, I haven't been here in 50 plus years. Let me do a sweep. Wow. The original backstop. So there is something left. All right, this is wild. There it is. I am mildly shocked. Look at that Boy, that's an old-fashioned. There it is. I hope you can see it clearly. I'll walk right up to it. Yeah, I gotta be really mindful of these rosebush thorns all over the place. There's actual writing. I don't think I can read it. Whoa, wait a minute. Is that look at that, a baseball, right? There, I think it's round. I'm try to kick that out of the ground. Yeah, it's an old baseball right there. An old relic. But this was some writing there. I can't read it. Nobody's going to be able to make it out, but there's some of that dugout. See if I can get out of here without falling on the ground. There's another that bone right there. Okay. Whew. Boy. Folks, I'm going to have to do a voiceover for the rest of this video because the audio died right in the middle of recording here. So we are behind the backstop. There is the cement foundation for part of the backstop to hold it up. There was a stream back here. That's why I'm kind of pointing the camera back behind the dugout. Right down here there was a stream. Okay, there's an old Coke bottle in there. I mean, again, this hasn't been, I haven't been back here for 50 plus years. Okay, so, but that little stream in there, small creek, is all dried up right now. We're kind of in the middle of a drought right now. And there's the front of that backstop, a great discovery. I had not known that was there. That was a big surprise. As I work my way through these weeds and vines and prickers, it's very overgrown. And there it is. There's a good look at that backstop. That really blew my mind when I saw that. That's the only remnants left. Okay, so for anything from this these baseball fields, right here would be maybe home plate. I'm looking out to left field. That's the way that this baseball field was oriented. There was one here. I think this was for the younger kids. I could be wrong. And I think the older kids were, or the, again, I'm not positive on this. If anybody knows the correct information, leave me a comment. But I'm walking across the fields right now. This used to be, mowed and meticulous grounds. The grass, everything was perfect. Lines were painted for baseball. There were, the base paths and everything were maintained beautifully. But again, this hasn't been used in years. You can see there's little trees growing up all over the place. So I don't know when the last time this has been mowed or cleaned out. It has to be several years, just based on those trees to the left, and really those, you can see right in front of me right there, that tree. That's right there. That takes a few years to grow. As we wind our way through this baseball field, I'm walking. I would probably be in right field right now to that from where that backstop was leading. Maybe I would be. I would probably be in the foul. I would be in foul territory right now, I would assume. There's a good look at some of those, some of the brush that's growing up there. As we walk along here, the tree's there. Look at the size of that tree. I don't know how many years that took to grow there, but that's, you can estimate based on its growth the last time this field was, I would say, mowed or cleared out. So now I'm probably in foul territory, but I'm in left field, in the left field area of the other baseball field. There's no backstop. The backstop would be to the right. There would be, a dugout to my right, and in front of me there would be another dugout of the other team. As I work my way through this overgrowth, and I'm kind of heading back towards the basketball court. Yeah, and the pond. There's a pond we'll take a look at. So, okay, there's the basketball court directly in front of me. I mean, this is kind of rough terrain walking around. It's not wet, which is good. I've been down there recently taking photographs, and it was there was some snow melting, so it was very muddy. But, okay, I'm heading back towards the basketball court. There's a decent look at that court. It's just a relic of what it used to be. It used to be perfect, in perfect shape, but now it's, left to rot, basically. It's not usable. And I'm going to head up in this direction. There's another baseball field. There's a pond. We already got a glimpse of that earlier, but there's a pond that we'll get a closer look at. Okay, I'm pointing the camera. There's a basketball buried in there. You can see it in the bottom of the screen, slightly to the right of center. There's a basketball. So somebody lost their basketball there years ago. I found the baseball earlier. Now we found this basketball. Okay, I'm going to let's see. Let me walk up here a little bit. And I'm going to turn, if memory serves me. I'm voicing over this thing. It's the first time I've done a voiceover, so. And I think I'm going to look back and do a kind of a sweep of the entire area that we just covered. So it's a big field. It leads all the way up to Elizabeth Street and Dunham Street if you kept going straight. But 2 baseball fields occupy the area that we're looking at right now. And the basketball court. That's a lot of area for those 2 fields. Okay, so now we're walking up this path. This probably used to be drivable by maintenance vehicles. There's the pond to the right. And I'm telling you, that tire has been there since I was a kid. I could be wrong, but I remember a tire there as a child. My understanding is people used to skate on this pond. I've never skated there, but I've been told by people that, reliable sources, that skating was done there. Now, it's low right now. We're in a drought. This pond it's not a huge pond, but it's bigger than what you're seeing right here when it's at capacity. As we walk down this path, to the left, there's also a little water flows under this path. There's a little, I wouldn't call it a bridge, but there's a pipe. I think I'm on top of the pipe right now. I am on top of the pipe, which lets water flow from this pond to another, through the pipe. Okay, I'm kind of putting the camera right down on top of that, like stone work that covers that pipe. And there's a good look at the pond. I'm going to get a better look soon, but okay, so the water flows down there, and I don't know where it goes. It keeps going until, to Dunham Street or whatever, underground or something. If memory serves me, I'm going to work my way down through some kind of rough terrain, prickers and stuff all over the place. It was hard for me to get through here. And it's a little wet down here. I had to be real careful not to step into a big, mud hole, basically. But there's a glimpse at the pond. I'm working my way over to that giant pipe that leads, acts as kind of a bridge, and the water, again, if we had a lot of rain, it would be flowing through there. All right, there's a real good look at that pond. In its current state, March 2025. And I'm going to have to, it's going to take a second for the camera to focus. It's focusing on that tree right now, but then it's going to focus on the stone. There it is. It's focusing on that stone little bridge. I wanted to get a look at that because that's been there for, I don't know, before I was born, I would assume. And if I'm stopped here, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here safely without stepping into a big, a hole. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this was tricky getting out of here. I was thinking about going straight, but I changed my mind. And I'm going to get up this hill eventually, but it took some doing. It took some thinking and figuring. And right now I'm I went through it like a briar patch, and I'm all stuck with the prickers and everything. But once I release myself here, you can see progress will be made. And I will get up this hill. But it took some doing. That was very messy down there. Okay, let's see here. Yep. Back on the path, which, again, I believe used to be drivable by vehicle. Maybe for maintenance and transferring, lawn mowers or things from point A to point B. Then I come up to this portion. I have a choice of going left or where I'm going now, straight, which is a little path. It's old. This is not a used area anymore, but I could tell there was a remnants of a path. So I got to bend way over to get under these bushes, and my head's probably a couple of feet off the ground right now, just going over this little hill. But this will be leading to that other baseball field, which I remember when I was a kid. I never played in this league, but I did watch some of the games up there. And I'm just about to make it through. Okay. So the field would be right in front of us. This would be maybe, I don't know, right field or whatever. Or actually, let me think. It might be left field. I think, home plate was directly ahead, slightly to the right. I'm almost on home plate. Right in here would be home plate, the backstop and everything. Over there to the left it's a hospice. There's no patients there, but it's hospice, maybe office space or whatever, but hospice has that building. And there's a parking lot in the distance for the hospice staff, I guess. So as I pan around here, the baseball field used to be here. Some of the growth, some of the bushes and things in the background there, I think that was actually part of the baseball field too. This is all gravel. Right there you can see the gravel. Rocks up in the woods. People used to sit up there in the woods. It was a little bit cleared out. Some of those rocks, you'd sit on a rock, watch the game. There were other big rocks up there. I think they could be back in the woods, or maybe they just removed them for the part of this area. I think hospice was supposed to have patients at one time, but plans changed, and there are no. It's not an inpatient facility. It's. I don't know what specifically they do. I'm assuming it's office. There's no patients there, so whatever else hospice does out of that building, I do not know specifically. But this is the baseball field. Would have been the baseball field back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whenever it was fully operational. I was there probably in the late 60s, maybe early 70s, I would say. And I'm going to work my way back. And I'm still recording video. I was thinking about shutting things down up here because I covered everything. But I kind of wanted to get the front of the rectory. So I took a look and I said, I'm going to keep rolling. Let's keep the video going here. As I work my way back through this area that I came through earlier. Very overgrown. I mean, I don't recommend it unless you're, don't wear good clothing or anything. You'll get shredded by this these prickers that are everywhere. They drove me crazy, but I made it, unharmed. Okay, here we go. We're back out into the clear, much more open, clear area in this wooded location. These trees are not old. You can see the size of these. This area used to be very well maintained. All right, I'm trying to get my bearings here. Okay, there it is. We're back on our main pathway. And we're going over that little, I guess you could call it a bridge, that pipe. And we'll take another glimpse at that pond from that vantage point. This is a very windy day, by the way, but this voiceover, we don't have to worry about the wind. You can see my shadow there. I try to avoid that, but it's almost impossible to avoid shadows. Unless it's, I said this before, and there's a good look at the pond again. I really like doing videos on very overcast days because you don't get any of these shadows. And it just makes for a nicer visual experience for people watching. And I'm going to work my way through this jungle area here. And we're back to our baseball fields, the lower baseball fields that run parallel to Elizabeth Street. As we proceed forward, I think I might do another look. Yeah, there's another sweep of the entire panoramic view of the entire two baseball fields. One right directly in front of me. I'm standing in, left field right now. And the other one is across the way where that backstop was. I am going to work my way over to the basketball court again. All right, there we are. That used to be a very active basketball court. Kids used to get out and play all the time. It's very eerie right now. It's like a time capsule. It was just left and untouched. You can see the fence very high fence there. As we pan over, and the paint is still there. The white paint on the asphalt. And there's that hoop with the net is hanging off. It's just all rotting away. I mean, it's standing, but it's seen better days. Another look at the field. So we're looking at, there would be dugouts. There would be a dugout right where I am. And there's that roller, another view of that. I assume they rolled over the field, maybe the infield with that to level it off. And there's that path directly in front of me. If I had to do this video over again, I would not go down that path. I'd just walk down the middle of the baseball field. But there's a tent down there you can see briefly. Somebody is either living, there's nobody in there currently, but there's a tent there. So I don't know what to make of that. Obviously, somebody apparently was staying there. The rhododendron, that rhododendron plant to our right, is very old. And this path is a legit path from the old days. People would park up above in the St. Peter and Paul's, main parking lot, and they would walk down past maybe a portion of the station to the cross, and they would walk to the baseball field. All right, we're going to go back up this hill. Station's the cross to the left. I think that's number 3 there, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm walking on some brick right now, or some form of, I don't know if it's little cement blocks or whatever it was, but if it was all cleared off, it would be pretty nice. You can see people would kneel maybe to the left right here in front of this and pray to these, these different stations of the cross that they have. Okay, there's the first one to our left right there. That's where you would start back in now. Anybody could go there. But, when I was a child or whatever, my grandmother would go up there and do the Stations of the Cross. And this was the first one right there, right in front of us. Beautiful. Okay, there's kind of a wide view. You can see all the Stations of the Cross down there, and you can see way in the distance West Main Street and the hill where the kids slid down. Beautiful place to slide. I don't think it's used now. I don't think that's occurring there anymore. Okay, there's those really nice statues. They were there when I was a kid. They may have restored some, I don't know, but there's kind of a nice shot right there. A lower angle. Definitely worth a look if you're not familiar with these statues or anything. I would say if you park up in the St. Peter and Paul's parking lot, take a walk down there, it's worth your time to... Stations of the Cross are something I don't really know if there's any other ones in Norwich that I'm aware of, but these are quite nice. There's beautiful cherry trees. Okay, I think I'm just doing a pan, one more pan of that field. Very large field down there. To my knowledge, I don't ever remember it being used for anything special. It was just mowed and maintained, and it looked beautiful. And the visuals looking from the hill down were gorgeous. But okay, and directly in front of us would be the manger, where the original manger I spoke of earlier when I was a kid. We went to look at the manger. That's slate. That's still there. That's been there forever. Where that cross is, the manger was in front of that. Life-size donkeys, life-size, who's ever in a manger, saints or I don't know the makeup of the people in the manger, but they were life-size. And I'm going to walk up these stairs, this nice staircase. And this leads to the parking lot. And you can see the house up there on Elizabeth Street. As I whip around to get this panoramic view, Osgood Street is over there to the right. West Main Street directly in front of us. And there is a good view of that statue overlooking the valley, the field down there. Framed up perfectly. Love it. The vines surrounding the statue. Beautiful clouds in the sky. As we back up. And I am going to head down the length of this parking lot, which is considerably large. I may have mentioned that before, but this parking lot used to be packed on Sundays, Sunday Mass. Standing room only. There's a sign that says no pets allowed, so if you do want to get up down to the Stations of the Cross, they don't allow pets to be brought down there with you. But this is the parking lot. And there's nice, I don't know, hedges or shrubs or whatever. There's a good look at the back of the rectory. Right there. Monsignor Baldwin used to live in there back in the 60s, 70s. Not sure of the year of the, when it used to be Father Baldwin, then Monsignor Baldwin, but I'm not sure what years he worked at that church. I don't know. I know 60s, 70s. It could have been the 50s. It could have been up into the 90s. I do not know the dates specifically. If anybody does, drop me a line. Parking lot keeps going and going and going all the way to Elizabeth Street. And to my right would be the baseball fields. It would be down a very steep hill. Okay, we're slowly but surely working our way over to Elizabeth Street. They have chains. Right now you can drive in there, but at times it's chained off completely. All right, I'm on Elizabeth Street. I'm pointing down Elizabeth Street. Off in the distance would be Dunham Street. The white houses you see way up there would be Elizabeth Street Extension. And, okay, I'm going to walk up. I wanted to get you can see the big, huge parking lot to the left. I wanted to get a view of the front of the rectory. I didn't catch that earlier in the video. These trees on my left, or directly in front of us, slightly to the left, are cherry trees. I believe they're cherry trees. When they blossom in the spring, they're different colors. They're really incredible. There's some of the homes on Elizabeth Street. But back to these cherry trees, assuming it's cherry trees, I believe they are. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on this type of cherry trees or apple or whatever. I think it's cherry. Are incredible. Absolutely jaw-dropping. I just, every year I go up there, I look at those trees. So to the left is the rectory. I'm going to step over and try to frame it up so we can get a look at the whole thing. And I sweep around ever so slowly, and boom, there it is. So that's a very nice brick building. I'm going to cross the street very quickly here. There's no traffic. Nothing to worry about. You can see the statue on the left there. They have very nice statues. They've been there forever. When I was a kid, those statues were there. Police car driving down the road, Elizabeth Street on the right. So there's part of the rectory. You can see way down to West Main Street, another one of the statues. And I'm going to frame up the church, the statue, and this beautiful tree. And let's frame this up perfectly. That's the end of the video.